Yo, what's going on, Kicks Army? Today I'll be doing a sneaker drawing on the ASICS Gel-Diablo Once Upon a Time in Kobe, as well as talking about Luol Deng's buyout with the Lakers, Paul Pierce's thoughts on current NBA stars joining forces. Let's get it! First and foremost, if you guys enjoy these daily sneaker drawing videos, make sure you leave a like. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bounce past that bell to get post notifications. Also, this stencil along with many others are available on my website, KicksArt.com. Speaking of the website, I made a few minor changes, nothing too big, honestly. Basically added some more tabs on the top of the page, so I added the ASICS tab, a Converse tab, a New Balance tab, and a Vans tab. Both the Vans stencils and the Converse stencils that I put in the other brands tab have been moved to their respective tabs, and the reason why I did that now, even though there's not a lot of stencils in those tabs anyways, is because those tabs are bound to fill up within the next few months. Like I said in a previous video, if I'm able to keep up this streak of doing 2 new stencils a day added to the website, there's going to be at least another, I don't know, 180 plus new stencils added to the website just by the end of the year. Scratch that, actually make it over 240 new stencils added by the end of the year. And that's a lot of freaking stencils, man. Obviously, I'm going to try to go ahead and add multiple views of other sneakers that I already have on the site. But one of my initial priorities is to get as many different variants of different sneakers on the site, period. Which would mean that both the ASICS, the Converse, the Vans, all those different tabs would be filled up. And obviously I'm going to add more to the Nikes, the Jordan, the Adidas stencils too. Everything's just going to end up filling up, and that's going to happen over the course of a few months. But because that's inevitably about to happen, I just prepared the tabs now anyway, just to kind of get that over with. And again, the idea for the website is to make it as functional as possible, so that way it's very easy to find whatever you want. That being said, because I'm doing 2 stencils a day, I'm actually busting through these requests pretty quick, so make sure you guys keep sending in your requests over on the contact tab at the top of the page. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this sneaker is the ASICS Gel-Diablo Once Upon a Time in Kobe, which is a collaboration with the school Pencil out in Oregon. And this particular colorway is, I guess, part of their Fueling the Future contest that they do every year. That's in collaboration with Foot Locker and, of course, ASICS. I believe the way it works is that they had the students kind of pair up together, they had a contest, and the winning team ended up with this design. Just a quick point on the name, Once Upon a Time in Kobe, I'm pretty sure they're not talking about Kobe Bryant. I'm almost certain they're talking about Kobe in Japan. Now, I could be wrong on that, but trust me, they're not talking about Kobe Bryant. This particular design, they focus on the Japanese aesthetic of koi ponds and silk kimonos. And especially when looking at images of the suit, you can really see where the koi kind of texture comes out towards the heel and towards the toe. And they have the myriad of different blues and light beiges throughout the sneaker as well. Now, there's only a total of 1,000 pairs of these sneakers made, so if this is something that really catches your fancy, then I'd definitely try to get it as soon as you can. Now, I have tried to enter a Pencil a few times in the past through multiple competitions. I never got in, but I'm still trying. At the moment, I'm just trying to focus on the YouTube channel and kind of branding out on social media. That in and of itself is almost a full-time job. You got to factor in that I'm also going to work and I'm a student at the same time, so it kind of makes it difficult to really focus on anything else. After the end of this year, I'm just going to be going to school for my final quarter and focusing on YouTube, so that's going to allow me to have some more free time. So if another one of these contests does pop up, I'll definitely be interested. Regardless, one of the goals is before I go off and do my own thing, whatever that is in the future, I definitely want to work as a graphic designer in an ad agency for a while. I also want to do an internship with like one of the bigger sneaker brands, possibly maybe even be a footwear designer if the opportunity presents itself, because I definitely want to have that underneath my belt for sure. Because if I stay doing what I'm doing with the channel, eventually I believe that I'll have the opportunity to work with a sneaker brand on a collaboration or something, and when that time comes, I already want to have the experience of designing a shoe or whatever, or at least working in that field under my belt, so that way it'll benefit me. That, and I've always kind of wanted to learn how that works, like the whole process from start to finish. I don't really know too much about it, so yeah, that'd be kind of cool to learn. I remember back in high school when I first started drawing sneakers, that was like initially the job that I wanted to do back then. It's like, okay, I kind of love this. This is really awesome. I find a lot of enjoyment out of this. I definitely want to be a footwear designer. And even though right now I don't know what the future holds, I can pretty much guarantee that in terms of my long-term career, I do not want to be a footwear designer. Only because I have so many different kinds of interests, I have too many things that I want to do that it would be tough for me to say distinctively that for 60 years or for however long I'd work that I'd want to do one thing. But I do see myself working as a footwear designer for at least a good chunk of my life, like at least maybe 5 to 10 years if I'm lucky, because I definitely want that experience. which is why I also want to work as a graphic designer for an ad agency. It's not that I want to be a graphic designer for the rest of my life, but I do want all of that experience under my belt so that way it can help benefit me later on. Because like perfect example, with being a graphic designer and an ad agency, I'll have all that experience of learning from other people that are working there, from learning from the art directors, from just learning how to be a better designer period, and all of those skills will stay with me for the rest of my life. And yeah, like I get that I'm going for school for that right now, but it's one thing to go to school for it, it's another thing to really put all that you've learned into practice, and it's two different forms of experience, and I kind of want both of them. Which is why I also want that triad of getting that experience being a footwear designer. I would love to really have all three of those really be under my belt. That way when I go off to do my own thing, whatever that is, I have no idea what that's going to be, but whatever that is, I think it's going to involve sneakers, I believe it's going to involve art, and obviously being a graphic designer is going to help for me to understand how branding and marketing works, just all those basics, as well as design in general, so all those things would be good to have. Main thing is I built this channel from nothing, obviously because I started the channel, so it started with nothing, but it's been really awesome to see how this channel has grown over the years. Obviously I'm still pretty salty that I've taken such a big lapses of time that I haven't really made videos, but all that aside, I can only account for what I'm doing now, and what I'm doing now makes me really hopeful for how the future is going to turn out. Like every day it's just so exciting knowing that, okay, what sneaker I'm going to do today, I'm going to add 2 stencils to the site, the website's growing, it's just so awesome to see. This channel is the YouTube channel that I would have wanted to have seen back when I was in high school, and the website is the website that I would have wanted to have back when I was in high school. I'm just happy knowing that I can kind of make it the way that I want to make it, and that you guys get to enjoy it for what it is and you can see it grow. Now with all of that out the way, let's get into some much needed basketball talk. Before I get into the other 2 stories real quick, Ryan Anderson did get traded from the Houston Rockets over to the Phoenix Suns in exchange for Brandon Knight and Marquise Chris. And all you really need to know about that is that the Houston Rockets have been trying to do something with Ryan Anderson. They didn't really play him at all last season, and he still has quite a big contract, so the fact that they got rid of him was a good sign for them. Got back some players that will probably help in terms of their depth. I don't see them doing too much, and I feel so bad for Brandon Knight because at least in my mind, the only things I can think of are the 2 times that he really got dunked on pretty hard, and then that one time that he fell into the water cooler and all those Gatorade drinks fell on top of him. You can look up Brandon Knight fail compilation, and it's honestly going to be worth the 4 or 5 minutes that it is. But yeah, and just in terms of getting rid of Ryan Anderson and his contract, that was a really good sign for Houston Rockets. And to be fair though, Ryan Anderson is going to be useful in the Phoenix Suns lineup. He's a nice little spot up shooter, a little overpaid, but he's still a nice little spot up shooter. They could definitely use his skill set. He can absolutely provide some veteran leadership, so that's always good too. And at least for this season, you know, they got the #1 draft pick or whatever, so in terms of expectations, they're not really super high. They're actually quite low considering how loaded the West is. They're not really expected to make too much noise, but if they do, it's a good look on them. Now, a few days ago, the Lakers actually bought out Luol Deng's contract, and that was pretty important too because his contract was kind of holding them back as well. By buying out his contract, that allowed them to get, I believe, $38 million in terms of cap space for the following NBA season to sign another max free agent. Obviously, that allowed them to sign like a few smaller pieces here and there, but the main thing is that they have enough money to sign a max, and I mean like a max free agent. So we're talking a potential Kevin Durant, a Kawhi Leonard, a Klay Thompson, one of those players. And naturally, this kind of makes way for Kawhi Leonard to come and go play for the Lakers because now they absolutely have the money. They're in Los Angeles. He's already said that he wants to play in Los Angeles. This could potentially be a really good scenario for him. Even though a lot of people say Kawhi is the front runner, obviously you could still either get Kevin Durant or Klay Thompson if either of them want to leave. While I don't see Kevin Durant leaving and I don't really see Klay Thompson leaving, if I had to pick either one of those 2 to leave to go down and play with LeBron, it'd probably be Klay Thompson, to be honest. If Kevin Durant's trying to be this big bad boy that he says he is, he's not trying to help out LeBron James win any more rings, right? So by going to the Lakers, it would almost guarantee that they have a good chance to win a championship, which would allow them to both have a ring. If Kevin Durant is the kind of competitor that he says he is, he doesn't want LeBron getting any more rings. He wants to accumulate the rings at LeBron's expense, if anything. And also, I feel like if he goes to the Lakers, that just wouldn't be a good look. I think he can literally go anywhere else but the Lakers and or stay on the Warriors and he'll be fine. He would absolutely be crucified if he went down to the Lakers, especially if they lost this season. Not even to the Lakers, just to another team in general. It's like, okay, the moment you guys lose, you jump ship, really? We NBA fans, that's just how we are. We love to hate. It's what we do. Personally, I think it'd be interesting if he went to New York. And I'm not talking about Brooklyn, I'm talking about the Knicks. Maybe kind of team up with Kyrie potentially over there. You have Kristaps. That'd be kind of cool because it wouldn't be a franchise that's had a lot of success recently. They wouldn't really have much to go off of besides they already have Kristaps Porzingis. They could kind of build something new and then make the East a lot more interesting as well. But point is, if the Lakers are able to get either Kevin Durant or Klay Thompson, the point is not only are they adding that piece to their roster, they're also depleting that piece from the Warriors roster. If you take out Kevin Durant from the Warriors, they're not winning. That's just the fact. They're not going to win. Fortunately, the rest of the league has kind of caught up. There are new super teams that are forming here and there, and it's just going to make it difficult for them to kind of keep their reign going without Kevin Durant being that centerpiece that's going to lead them to the championship. Guy was Finals MVP the last 2 seasons, like, come on. But if Klay Thompson were to go to the Lakers, that'd be really interesting because it's like, okay, he was kind of like the third piece, and even then when Kevin Durant was in there, he was second fiddle to Steph Curry. He could really show all the potential he has going over to play with LeBron, be an amazing scorer, and it would really kind of cement his legacy as one of the best players in the game for sure. Not of all time, although I guess you could say he would be somewhere up there, but in terms of active players, yeah, he could make a lot more noise playing down with LeBron James. Plus his father works for the Lakers, so that would just kind of be a nice little thing as well. Hey, and real quick, we got a quote from Paul Pierce. You guys already know I love these quotes. When asked about current NBA stars joining forces, he said, quote, "I don't think they're as hungry and competitive as my generation was." The thing, Paul Pierce, I hear you. I really do. I understand that this new era of the NBA can be kind of frustrating the way it looks like these players just want to join up with each other to make it really unfair for the rest of the league. However, this is kind of the state of the NBA. We are in the relocation era, and I've been saying this for a while. I'm gonna say it again. It's gonna get to the point very soon, like within 10 years, where even if your team sucks, you are gonna have 2 or 3 ballers on your team because of how good the league is getting. And just think about this real quick. Just think about this. This season, my Orlando Magic has Mo Bamba, okay? We also have Aaron Gordon, and we have that tall Isaac kid who didn't really do too much last season, but that's already 3 kind of interesting pieces to have on a team. Let's look at the Phoenix Suns. They drafted DeAndre Ayton, and they also have Devin Booker. Pretty interesting setup right there. Those are 2 franchises where even if they kind of suck this upcoming season, they're interesting to watch. They sell tickets, and that's awesome for the NBA. What I'm trying to get at is, if every team is a super team, no team is. That's like super dramatic, but you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bounce past that bell to get post notifications. Don't forget to check out KicksArt.com for all your sneaker stencil needs. Check out all the other videos on the channel. I have like 270 plus videos. All of them are awesome. I'm biased. It's okay. With that being said, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.